Welcome to the Mixing Room. I'm Trent.
I'm Daniel.
And we've got an exciting episode for you guys once again. But first, we wanted to talk about a movie that's coming out very close to when this episode comes out. That's very near and dear to our hearts, but even more so Dan. So
yeah, dude.
Go ahead and take it away.
Yeah. So the movie Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere, it's either dropping the day this episode comes out or like within the week. And that movie centers on a particular time in Springsteen's life when he was recording the album Nebraska, which eagle-eyed viewers of the show will notice has been over Trent's shoulder for the past few episodes that we've been putting out. And this was a time where in Bruce's career, he had had some momentum and some notoriety. Born in the USA had not come out yet, so he was not a huge star. And he had just put out a record called The River. And The River's a double album that kind of has some bar band music on it, some singer-songwriter music on it, some ballads, some up-tempo stuff. It's a little bit of everything, but it was really The River was teeing up Born in the USA in some ways. Bruce and the E Street Band were starting to play stadiums, or at least arenas, and they were selling those out, and they were getting ready to that level where they could play stadiums as long as they continued on that commercial path, which, again, ultimately they did with Born in the USA. But before going there, Bruce really kind of did an introspective thing, both in his personal and professional life with Nebraska, and just really kind of turned his listeners' expectations on a dime. And you can see all of this in the movie and see a little bit more of his deeper reflections, but the whole album ended up being demos. It was just acoustic demos that he recorded in his home in Jersey. No band members on the recordings. Very lo-fi, very low budget, very experimental for the time. And of course, his diehards ate it up. He intentionally didn't promote it, didn't tour behind it, kind of just let the music speak for itself. And it was, a real risky move at the time, but one that I think served him well as far as getting to make his point and getting to serve his own identity.
Yeah.
At a point in his career where he was kind of shifting a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of Springsteen diehards, tell us and our listeners a little bit about what Bruce Springsteen means to you, because I know he's one of your biggest inspirations.
Yeah, man. I mean, I wouldn't be in this town. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if it wasn't for Bruce. When I was in middle school, I first saw the music video for the live performance of Born to Run on YouTube. And I remember just thinking, like, one, this guy looks like he's having a blast. Two, this guy looks like he's playing with everything he's got in it. Like as if this song is his last breath of life, and in the video you see him running across the stage and jumping on the piano and, basically, I guess, breaking all the rules in a sense. You're supposed to kind of stand there and be professional and perform, but instead he's kind of just overexerting and putting everything he's got into it. And I just remember thinking, like, that looks like fun. That also just looks like emptying the tank in a way that no other career or whatever could do. Like, whatever that is, I want to do that. And that's what really got me into music in high school, which got me to go to Belmont, which got me to come to Nashville, which got me, a lot of cool opportunities, both in college and beyond, some of which you've probably seen on my social media pages if you're listening, if you've kept up with them. But even still to this day, I find connection with Bruce because, like, I'm at least in college was very used to doing, big on campus events and things like that. And what's the inverse of that? Talking to people at a table in your own home, and that's kind of in some ways what Bruce did with Nebraska. Instead of doing a big full band album that's, going to go out and he's going to tour behind it and play to these huge venues, he did, a very intimate project that wasn't toured behind. That was just kind of, a complete 180, but something that I think he needed to do for himself. So, it's still to this day in new ways, I'm constantly finding ways that I relate to Bruce as an artist, to Bruce as a person, to Bruce as a performer, as just somebody who is, Bruce is an American, as somebody who pays attention to the world he lives in and the world that his peers have grown up in and the world that his kids and grandchildren will be growing up in. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be really cool to see that movie take a deeper look into who he was at the time, how that affected that project, how that project affected him. It's always cool when an artist makes a shift like that. And our guest today is kind of going through a little bit of a shift in her theming in her music. Maybe a little more subtle. You'll still hear the same power in her voice and the same style that fans would expect of her. But still, we talk about a little bit of that shift today in this interview. So without further ado, let's welcome today's guest, Peyton Marie.
All right, Peyton, welcome to the mixing room. We're so happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, of course. All right, so before we get into your career and a little bit of your catalog, I want to talk a little bit about your upbringing, your childhood, what that was like, and maybe what role did music play in your life as a kid?
Yeah, so I first started taking piano lessons at the age of 5. And then gradually that went to guitar. And then I was in show choir from like 5th grade to my senior year of high school. And my vocal teacher in 7th grade introduced me to the Eastern Iowa Arts Academy because he was like a director there and they're starting this rock band program. And so it was me and a bunch of other middle schoolers. There's like 2 bands that were formed playing like rock music and covers and stuff. And I kept doing that throughout middle school and high school. And that's kind of how I got into songwriting and performing. And then like I knew about Belmont because I just graduated from there. And I knew about it in high school. And it was always like I don't know, like I always, throughout childhood and getting older, it was always just music. Like there's never any other thing besides that. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the first song you wrote?
First song I wrote.
Or at least what's the earliest one you remember?
So I did write a lot of stupid songs as a kid. Cannot tell you a single name of them. They're like on like a piece of paper with like crayon and shit.
Yeah.
First song I like wrote that was like real, and I actually released it off everywhere now. So try to find it, y'all.
Challenge accepted.
It's called Liar Liar. And it was like the worst like rhymes ever. It was like rhyme zone type rhyming. Yeah. And I wrote it all myself. I kind of wrote the drums and bass to it super like easy. And I showed to my band, my Arts Academy band, and we played it. And I was like the first out of all the bands in this program to do an original song. And then I released it later on, but that I guess was like my first real song I can remember. It's all right.
Nice. It sounds like playing live or performing live in some capacity has always been around for you.
Yeah, it's always been
for
a thing.
long time.
Yeah.
At what point did you know that was going to be your career?
I don't know. It's hard because I feel like it's always been a thing for me. Like in my brain, there was never not a time that I wasn't doing music and then not imagining music for myself. There was one time I wanted to be a writer, like a creative fiction writer. This was like middle school. I was 12 and I read Percy Jackson and was like, I can do that. And I wrote this like book trilogy.
We just talked Percy Jackson on Chico's episode.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because Aphrodite. Yes. Yeah. No, love Percy Jackson. Love Percy Jackson.
No, literally, I have like Google Docs of fantasy stories or whatever that I started writing probably in middle school too. I love it.
I wrote the first book, planned out this whole like 4-book series. I queried literary agents, be like, hey guys, I'm 12. I wrote this book. You're going to want to publish it. No one want to publish it. And then that, like me writing, I kind of got like past it and focused more on music, and that writing turned into songwriting. And since high school, it was either like I was going to be a singer, I was going to be a songwriter, I was going to be music industry professional, like there was like music was never not something that I knew I was like gonna do. That makes sense. Like there was never a time where it wasn't my future career.
Yeah. So. Have either of you ever considered going back to some of it? Because you could still do like literature on the side.
Yeah, if I had time for it, maybe. It's a lot of energy to write a whole book and research it. And like I'm already writing songs, I'm already doing the whole artist thing, you know, working how many jobs to help support myself and pay rent. Writing a book on top of that, I don't know. Maybe later. Maybe when I get famous, like later on I'll write a book and be like, comeback season, it's a book.
Yeah. There you go. You definitely need to take time for yourself when you can amongst that busy schedule. My first introduction to you was probably your second single from 2022, the song Dead to Me. You had put out Growing Pains before that, but Dead to Me is my earliest memory of your music.
Yes.
And as I put in our show notes, what a headbanger chorus.
Thank
like,
you.
Like, it is that you are into that song, and the verse is captivating. It pulls you in, but then you get to that chorus, and you're just it's catchy, and you're in it. Like, did that song always kind of have those rhythmic elements where the drum pattern kind of changes throughout, or was that something that came to effect in the studio?
I guess that's something that came into effect in the studio. So I wrote the song myself, like the lyrics and the guitar chords.
So you
And
started
then-
on guitar.
Yes, it was just guitar, really. And I didn't like, I produced a really shitty demo, moved to Nashville, reached out to my producer who has produced all of my songs since. His name is Andrew Gomez. He's amazing. And I was trying to research like pop punk producers in Nashville. I didn't know anyone like at all. And I saw him through John Harvey, and I was like, oh, this song is sick. Who's a producer? Andrew Gomez. And so I like went to his website, and I was like, hey, my name's Peyton, just moved here. Here's this really shit demo, but I love Paramore. So like, this is the kind of vibe we're going for. And he actually emailed back and was gonna work in my budget with this. And was like, yeah, I like you mentioned Paramore. Like I can kind of hear that, and I love Paramore as well. And I'm like, fuck yeah, we're in. And then he, like all the rhythmic stuff, he did the drums himself. They're MIDI drums. They're not real drums. Sorry, guys. I know it's so surprising they're not real. But yeah, so he took my guitar chords, and together we kind of like reshaped the song a bit, rewrote some of the lyrics, and then all the guitar like recording, the drums that were done in it were all Andrew.
It sounds like you mentioned before that you do write drum parts and bass parts for some of your songs during the writing process, or?
So that was more of a writing process thing. Literally, the drums I wrote were boom, tss, boom, boom. Tss.
Okay,
That's it.
okay.
And the bass I wrote was dun 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 dun. Da, 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 da. That was it. Okay. So they weren't that crazy.
So
Your degree.
Yeah.
So your writing process is probably more vocals and guitar focused.
It is, yeah. And my writing process anymore is I'm like really bad about this. I need to start writing by myself a lot more, and just like with me and a guitar, because usually it's the guitar. Even though I started on piano, I usually write on guitar. But usually I do a lot of my writing in writing sessions. So yeah, that's like the process is like we have an idea, I have an idea, I bring it in, and usually it's Andrew's like the producer in the writing sessions as well, like most of the time. He starts a vibe on the computer, and then me and whoever I'm writing with, we kind of just like go back and forth on stuff, play around some melodies, and then the song just kind of like writes itself. Going through it, yeah.
Yeah, well, that one certainly came to life in an incredible way.
Thank you.
I had a playlist a few years ago of just like Belmont musicians, people like the songs that I actually like listen to repeatedly, right? Because
Nice.
10,000 people put out songs every week, and you give it the one stream, and you say, you know, oh, it's great, but like the songs that I like actually listen to, I guess I was like my junior year of college, like that fall, and like that made the playlist of, you know, however many songs were on that.
Nice,
So
let's go.
that one stood out to me, you know, for the past few years. So
Really
yeah.
nice. I don't really. Sorry, I don't.
You're like, I don't think it's okay.
Like that's. I was literally talking about it in my session like last week with Caroline and Andrew, and I was like, to me, I was like, nah, it's okay. Growing pains, it's okay.
Oh, bring it back.
And I was like,
Is it in your live set? Did you play it when I
No.
was?
it's
No wonder.
it can be a special one. It gets
Okay.
maybe gets brought back sometimes, but I don't.
I'm gonna bring a sign request to the next one.
Yeah.
No, it's like one of those things that artists do where they like start releasing new stuff and they just hate their old stuff. And I was in this writing session with Andrew, and I was like, what if I just like deleted Growing Pains and Dead to Me? And he was like, no.
I feel
I
like
was like, true, I'm not gonna do it. But I was like, the new stuff, like the stuff we're working on now, like Mouth to Mouth, like now, like is so solid. Like I love all of those songs. I listen to Dead to Me and I'm like, damn, I should have, like, because lyrically I wrote that and I'm like, why did I write it like that?
No, it's so. Well, anyways, we're gonna get to some of your newer stuff, so
Okay, cool.
we'll give you the chance to kind of talk on some of that.
yeah, but Dead to Me then leads to Music to Bury Your Ex to, and that
Yes,
project.
the EP, yes.
Yes. And one of the ones that really stood out to us on there was Gravedigger. We really
Yeah.
liked the heavier approach to it, the faster and
Yeah.
It's just intense, man.
kind of
Yeah, it's awesome.
almost in your face vocal style in that one a little bit more. I mean,
Yeah.
it's consistent with vocals in all of them, but still, that one's upbeat.
I
high
love that
energy.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about the writing on that one.
So the writing on that one, I wrote it in December of 2023. So it was like right before everyone went home for winter break. And it was me, John the Dropout. He like produced the demo and helped us write it. And then it was Caroline Romano and Chase Smiles, all four of us in this room. And I had brought in like one reference, and it was All the Greatest Hits by Wolf Alice. I think that's the band's name. And honestly, like, it doesn't really sound anything like it now that I'm thinking about it, but that was the one reference because there's this like little synth line in the song. I'm like, that's so fucking sick. And then it's not like, you can't hear the influence at all. And it was essentially like, I was like, you know what, like, fuck it, like, angry man-hating song, you know, what's new in my discography. And so that was the idea. And the idea was, I'm gonna start using these men how they like use me. And so like the whole idea is like keep digging up the grave to like rebury it, and then digging up the grave to rebury it. And it was like that. And that one was also like, that was a night write, and we finished it within like 3 to 4 hours. It was a really quick write. And it seems to be everyone's favorite off the EP, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it always that like up tempo,
Yes.
that intense?
Yeah,
Okay.
the demo is super close to the finished product.
Dude.
It's cool. It's also cool how like one piece of a song, like the synth line, can be the inspiration for a completely different song. I think that
Yeah.
is cool. And I'll have to go back and listen for that synth stuff.
Yeah, there's like a creepy synth, because then Andrew produced it. I took it to Andrew, we produced it out, and then it was on the final EP. And there's like this little creepy synth, I think, like somewhere in the chorus, or like in the guitar goes, there's like the basic like lower guitar, and then the guitar goes up in the second chorus, like the second half of the second verse. And it's like a little creepy and stuff. So yeah. I don't know. I can't remember if there's a synth line there or not. I don't know. That's what inspired
That's
it.
our
so.
homework.
No, yeah, that's on us. We've done such a good job of just talking about everything else in the song that we've now gaslit her into thinking that there's not.
Yeah.
It's just so up tempo, man.
I was like, God, how's that song go again? Like, I don't know.
Okay, that part you're supposed to know.
Yeah, true.
But then also, okay, you were talking about like kind of how the song kind of builds and progresses. Skeletons takes that to a whole new level, because this one starts just so relatively chill.
Yeah.
At least for your catalog. Like, I mean,
That's a sleeper hit for sure.
the verse here, I wrote down the lyrics. And sleeping on the couch to avoid my bed, I can't fall asleep without you in it. The past few months wrestling with all the stages of this grief at once. Is it too far gone to be saved?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's not sheltered by a big arrangement or by any sort of, that's just like basically what, an acoustic guitar and a vocal. There might be something a little bit more in there, but
Yeah.
that's vulnerable.
Yeah. That song, I had written a lot of, so this song like was written over the course of like 2 years. I started writing it around the same time I wrote Dead to Me, actually. And it was just like, it was something that I tried writing, and then I would have to keep revisiting it to finish it, because like I needed a ballad on the EP, and I had this song idea called Skeleton, super unfinished. Like I don't even know how many lyric versions I went through, if I even have some of them, because it's from when I wrote Dead to Me. And I was like, Skeletons. I was like, this sounds so good. And then I would just keep revisiting it. And then until one day I was like, fuck it, I'm sitting down and finishing this shit. And then I had written a lot of the lyrics, and I brought in Caroline, who has literally written like almost every single one of my songs. Yeah. And like we kind of bounced back and forth some ideas. I had like the guitar chords, like me and her in my room, just fucking around with it. And I took to Andrew, and I was like, this is the final song of the EP. And it's like, I want it to build like I want it to be like a Paramore track. Like it was supposed to be very All I Wanted type vibe, where it starts out small, acoustic guitar, and then it builds up to this huge like rock ballad aggressive thing. We have this like, I have this giant scream in the end of it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I write that down?
You did.
Yeah. And vocal swells to a crying belt at the end. It's such a great close to the EP.
Yeah.
So okay. So why this one to close out the EP?
So that one was, I don't know. Like I said, like it really needed a ballad, because we had Mouth to Mouth, we had Final Girl, we have Grave Digger, we have Fake My Death. And it was like, they're all like just super rock, super upbeat. And I was like, because I don't really write slow songs like at all. That's not my thing. It's usually aggressive and headbanging and stuff. And then I was just like, I need this to round out the EP. And then I love the idea of a big closer. So along with Paramore, I'm also really inspired by Phoebe Bridgers when it comes to writing acoustic stuff. And so I Know the End was also a big inspiration, where it starts out super acoustically. It's just super vulnerable. You're telling this story. And then as the song progresses, it just builds and builds and builds. And then finally it's this giant ending with like screams and like various instruments. And it's all super loud. And like, I'm pretty sure it's, I think it's All I Wanted, where it ends on like that kind of like guitar feedback, like noise. Yeah. Skeleton does the same thing because it's the finale of the EP, and so it kind of just closes it like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you know what I think it does beautifully? I think any good record does this beautifully, whether it's an EP or a full length or even like a double album, whatever. I think any good album leaves you. It leaves you with your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't do too much telling you what to think or how to feel. It kind of just ends in a way that you're kind of just left with it.
Yeah.
And I think that song does that so well.
Thank you. It just felt super final with that song. There's actually another demo in the vault that Andrew wanted to end the EP on, and it's called Spine. And he kind of wanted to do the same like Paramore type thing, you know, a little bit of a big ending. And I was like, nah, bro, trust. So I was like, Skeletons, bro, trust. Yeah. And yeah, I just really wanted to do a song with big ending, and that was Skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works phenomenally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what it's like to songwrite with Caroline. Caroline's a friend of mine, actually.
Oh, really? You know Caroline?
We don't talk about music.
Okay, cool.
That's not how we met.
That's awesome.
Wait, but how did you guys meet?
I'm really, really, really close friends with one of her roommates. So.
Oh, which roommate?
Sarah.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, what was the question?
But like your songwriting process, you said you read a lot with Caroline.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
Tell us what those
time.
kind of co-writes add to your creative process and what you get out of them.
So usually, like Caroline is just a fantastic songwriter. She's better than me. And so like usually I feel like how it goes is that I have this like really broad, big idea, like Final Girl or like Gravedigger. I'm like, here's the song title, guys. Here's what I want to write about. How are we gonna get there? And then I like have this like yes, no, yes, like kind of like that almost. And I'm not good at spitballing lyrics at all. I kind of like, for me, I have to sit with it a second and then figure out what I want to say. Caroline's like, how about we say this? I like this melody. Let's like say it here. And I'm like, I don't know if I like that word. What if we were like this? And she's like, oh, so you mean like blank, blank, blank? And I was like, yes, yeah, that's it now. And so it's like very like back and forth kind of. And then usually you have like Andrew at like the desk just like working on like drums and stuff. And then we're just like going back and forth. Like Nothing Hurts Here, the one I just released, that one was just me, her, and Andrew. And I was like, hey guys, I have this idea, I have this title. Like I want to write it. And we wrote it within like 4 to 5 hours. It was a super easy write. Mm-hmm. And it's one of my favorite songs I've done. So writing with her is super chill, super easy. She's also one of my best friends. Nice. So it's like if I'm like, yeah, guys, this just happened to me, I want to talk about, she already knows. So like, it like saves some of the time in the session, you know, just yapping about it.
It's really cool when a song comes together so quickly and naturally like that. And it seems like this one, though it has the same signature kind of Peyton Marie sound, the theming in this one almost seems a little different than some of your other songs. Can you speak to that at all?
Yes, this one's a love song, guys.
Yes,
she finally wrote. Yes, love song. Period, boo. Anyways, yes, it's a love song. Haven't really written one of those before, and
we should have done a Valentine's episode instead of a Halloween episode.
Nah, Halloween's still more on theme. So, but yeah, that one's a love song. So
that's awesome.
What inspires that like change in lyric, or is it just like, hey, this is what I got today?
I got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yay, queen! Nice. I just like all of the just boy drama and like, because Gravedigger is written about like every guy ever. Every guy that I had ever gone out with, it's just like, that's who Gravedigger's about. And that's like the ultimate like man hater anthem, you know? Sorry guys. And,
Yeah, go on a podcast with two dudes, talk about,
yeah. And so like when I started writing new stuff, it was just like I wanted, and honestly, I wrote so many songs about just like breakup and drama and just being a man hater. Like I'm like so done. Like with that. Like I wrote enough about it. And so then like we were writing other stuff, like more like sexy, fun songs. Like we wrote Elvira. That one's like a fun little club metalcore like banger, you know. And then I came into the studio. And I've been really into Amira Alfeki and Ali Nicholas, and obviously like we're all pulling from Evanescence, you know. And I was like, if I'm gonna write, like I want to write a song like this, and I was like, if I'm gonna write like a love song, it's gonna be like an Evanescence song. It's gonna be a little gothy. It's gonna be yearning, a little obsessive, like super devoted. Yeah. And then Nothing Hurts Here happened.
So do Elvira and Nothing Hurts Here, are they part of a new narrative that shapes a new EP potentially?
Yes.
Yes. You heard it here first, unless it's already out on social media somewhere. But hey, in truth, it can be challenging to grow as an artist, as far as like, you know, that's a dramatic tone shift from like bury all the men to like I'm in love.
Yay!
So like, how do you feel about this? And do you think like longtime fans, like, are they prepared to take that step with you? Like, what's?
Yeah, I think honestly, I know it's kind of a bad thing sometimes for an artist to do something and do it well. It's like, hey guys, this is me. And then a year later, it's like, nah guys, this is me. And then everyone's like, what the fuck? like that's so different. But I feel like, cause I work with roughly the same people on every song, and it is me also writing it. Like, I feel like there's still like a vein of Peyton Marie through all of the songs. And Nothing Hurts Here is kind of reminiscent of Fake My Death a bit. I kind of did more rock thing on that one. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's exciting. I think you can still tell it's me. It's still like authentic to me, and it's me trying new things. And even though Elvira and Nothing Hurts Here are very different, like they will exist on the same project at a certain point. And I think like those are like two sounds I'm definitely playing with right now. So
yeah.
And it's cool to explore new things, and
definitely.
I think fans do recognize and appreciate that, you know.
Like whenever your song sounds the same, it gets so boring, and I'm like, I'm so against that. Yeah. Like every song on Music to Bring Your Ex To does sound really different. So, and I like that. You can still tell it was me. You can still tell there was some semblance of a storyline within it, but you have Mouth to Mouth is pop punk. Final Girl was very MCR inspired. And then you have Gravedigger, which is a little more punk, a little more Riot Girl in a sense, like with the vocal delivery and stuff. And then Fake My Death was a little more like a little grungier in a way, especially the bridge, and the Skeletons is like just full on like Paramore rock ballad, you know? And but you could still all tell it was me, and I didn't want to make an EP of like 5 of the same exact songs. And so this next EP is not going to be that either. But it's definitely going to be exploring a lot of new sounds.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll be excited for it.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out. Do you have a favorite song of your own from your catalog?
This is hard. They're like children.
Everybody has a favorite child. Come on.
I know. Because I feel like I'm going to say Nothing Hurts Here because that's the child that's succeeding right now. And it's like, biased. Yeah, this is my favorite daughter because she's a doctor now. It's like that. Like this one's doing really well. I do love it. It was a little slept on as a demo because we were writing a bunch and we released Elvira. It was like a cool new sound for me. I also love Elvira. I don't know. That might be my favorite one. I don't know. And then we wrote Nothing Hurts Here. It's kind of like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's cool. And I was like, I don't know. Like I still want to put it out. Like I like that sound. I love this genre of music. And then we started working a demo and we started releasing it. And then all of a sudden it's like everyone's like new favorite song of mine. And I'm like, yeah. But I do love that one. I love Gravedigger. I love Skeletons. That one, like the ending on that, like I'll like skip through it just listen to the endings. I love that. I love the ending so much. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to pick a favorite. It's definitely not Growing Pains Are Dead to me. Those are my children.
Well, fuck me, I guess.
You can adopt. They're yours now.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
not like those are our two favorites or anything.
No, you know what though?
Also, you're saying my music sucks. You're saying my music sucks.
You haven't enjoyed a song of hers since 2022. What the fuck, Trent? No, but you know what though? Some artists, like kidding aside, some artists do kind of say that where they're like, I've worked on this song for the past 6 months or however long it took them to actually write it and then record it and then release it. You know, sometimes that's a year, sometimes it's more. And by the time it actually gets put out, once they, you know, play it live a little bit or whatever, they're kind of like, okay, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
audience, if you like it, great. It's yours. Because mine is whichever one I'm writing right now or whatever one I'm recording right now.
Yeah.
So it makes total sense that, you know, you're maybe a little bit biased, but leaning towards Nothing Hurts here. Like,
Yeah.
that's the
And
one
it's a
I'm most
great
excited about.
song, yeah.
It's brand new. So I'm gonna call an audible here. I want to talk about your live shows and how you feel your band adds to your sound live.
Dude, my band is
She's got a
awesome.
stacked roster. You know who's in her band?
Dude.
Oh, he's about to be so.
All right.
No.
Okay.
Drums, Grace Goodman. Bass, Caitlin Jurdo. Guitar, Soraya Rafat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my girls. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're
That is
kick-ass,
absolutely
dude.
stacked.
Our people.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're awesome. I don't know, like they're just fucking great. They've been my homies for so long. Like Soraya's new. I met actually no, fun lore about me and Soraya. We were TikTok mutuals since like 2020, 2021, yeah. And then Grace and Caitlin have been in my band since like 2 years ago. So these are just like the homies, dude. Like our band
Yeah.
rehearsals, just hangouts and stuff. And like we'll spend the first hour of rehearsal just yapping and catching up, and then we'll be like, "Oh shit, guys, I have to go soon." Like I have like gone through like half the set. It's like, oh man, but yeah, they're great.
Well, that's a great group to yap with and a great group to, you know, make music
Absolutely.
with, like in any capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, and what you're doing is right in their wheelhouse too. So like, you are pulling from their strengths and they're knocking it out of the park. I just saw your live show maybe a month ago.
Yes, yeah.
Phenomenal set.
Thank you,
Phenomenal.
thank
All of
you.
guys. Seriously, great. But yeah, I really just want.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like I'm like the least talented member of my own band.
That's not what we're saying.
No, like my band's just so good, and then like I need to get so much better with like singing live because I don't have tracks, and so
Oh
sometimes
no, you do
like
the thing that everybody says they do. What?
Like, I know,
Sing live.
like-
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
no, not when you sound bad. Like yeah, like I'll be on stage, I'm like, damn, my band sounds so good, and then like I'll listen to a video of me performing live back, I'm like, wow, like I am the worst member of my
No,
band.
like,
No.
I'm sure that's not true. You know, live phone videos of shows suck. They just always do.
Yeah.
Like I'll be listening to myself singing on stage and be like, oh, like that note's like a little off, or like, oh, like my sound great right now. I'll listen back and there was like 10 voice cracks that I didn't even hear me do like myself.
And no one else
I'm
heard
like,
it either.
damn.
No one else heard it either.
Until they play the video back, then they'll hear
Why are
it.
they
but-
listening to the video? They should have been there. It's a live
True.
show. It's a live show.
True.
It's not where we listen back to the recording show. It's a live show.
True.
Yeah.
And my band, they're just so good. Like I'm so thankful for them.
Yeah.
We touched on a little bit some of your newer influences, but just generally for your own enjoyment, what do you listen to?
What I listen to,
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna say the past year I've gotten a lot more into goth music and that scene, and I'm gonna name like the two like biggest fucking bands. I swear, guys. But I wasn't really into them before, and like my parents weren't fans of them, so I didn't really get into them growing up. Was Depeche Mode and 9 Inch Nails, you know?
I was wondering if you're gonna say Nine
Guys,
Inch Nails.
I'm into goth music. Depeche Mode, 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, I just went to the 9 Inch Nails show.
Nice, dude. I wanted to go, and I just ended up not going. But yeah, and they're great. And
Yeah.
I've really gotten into them this past year, and a lot more electronic music in general. And that's kind of what did inspire Elvira was, and I've like said this before, if anyone's like heard me say this before, but what inspired Elvira was I went to the Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan Sweat Tour the same week I went to see Knock Loose in Atlanta. And I was like, I love the energy of both crowds, like the moshing, but then at Charlie you have people like dancing. And I was like, how do I somehow get people moshing and shaking ass in the same song?
Yeah.
And I had this whole song concept. It took like 3 sessions, like 2-3 sessions to actually write it, because we were trying to writing lyrics and like to the demo, and then we're like, maybe not, maybe that's not Elvira. This is Elvira. That's not Elvira. You know, we're just like writing through, and I wrote it with the Andrew, Caroline, and Chase, the gang, And yeah, and so I have had a lot of more electronic music influences this past year, which include Depeche Mode, Nine Inch Nails, that inspired ELVIRA. And also like even the scene here, like I've been a lot more into going into like the raves, like the underground raves, and like SLC at the Cobra, and then we have Fascination Street at the East Room. Yes, at the East Room. And like all the music they play there, like all the goth music, it's great. And I love the scene, I love the culture. And that has been a big influence recently that I didn't have when I was making music for your ex too. That is now in this next project, I guess. And I've also been listening to a lot more Evanescence and Flyleaf, a lot more 2000s rock lately. So I kind of have like I have like my electronic music playlist that is like my gay goth club playlist, and then I have just like my 2000s cooler older sister rock playlist, and those are the only two things I'm listening to right now are those.
That's a great blend.
Yeah. One of the most special things about Nashville is like the music scenes that are not country.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they exist, guys.
They exist. And
exist,
they're
right?
really special. They're much more like intimate, the people.
Yeah, it's a small circle for sure. When you start to go anywhere not country, like especially in like the rock alternative scene, like I know like most of the people, or like I've been connected with them. Then you go to like the raves and like the goth nights and stuff, and you see a lot of the same people, because it's a poppin' scene here, but it is kind of small. It's nice though. I really enjoy like all those events and stuff.
We're gonna have to hit one of those up. We might be fish out of water, but we're gonna have to hit one of those
Dude,
up.
no, y'all gotta pull up.
Yeah. Definitely. So I was named after Trent Reznor.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So like Nine Inch Nails is an early, one of the earliest bands I listened to. Maybe not appropriate for a young child, but I was exposed to it at a pretty young age.
George.
Yeah, love my dad for that.
Yeah, I was not. My parents were big into like Bon Jovi,
What?
Motley Crue. Yeah, I did not get that
Yeah,
reaction.
you know.
But yeah, like Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, the Eagles, like a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And also I'm from Iowa.
I saw the
So-
Eagles at the Sphere last year.
Really? That's cool. I bet my parents are really jealous of that.
Well, Peyton, we're so excited for what you've got in the works, and now that you've like teased that maybe there's like an EP with some of these newer songs, we're so
Yeah.
excited for that. And we hope that all of you listening and watching at home are too. Where can we find you on social media to keep up with your artist path?
So on Instagram, it's Peyton Marie Official. And then I think it's also my Facebook is. And then TikTok, because I have a new TikTok. My alt account is still Peyton Marie Official, but the new one right now is It's Pay Marie. So I have two. The new main is It's Pay Marie. So yeah.
Hey, follow both.
Yeah, followable.
And the Instagram and the Facebook, all of the things. And again, we're so excited. Congrats on the success of Nothing Hurts here.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing what the next few months have in store for you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for being
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
And that concludes our conversation with Peyton Marie.
Absolutely. If you guys have enjoyed what you have heard today, go ahead and hit that like button on YouTube. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. Make sure you're commenting and sending us a message, leaving us a message when you review on Spotify as well. We love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, and make sure you are following us on our social media pages. Follow Peyton Marie as well. All of her pages will be linked in the description of this episode, as will ours. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Mixing Room Podcast. If you have questions or comments for us, you can email us, mixingroompod@gmail.com. That's where you'll find us. And if you really, really want to support us, you can find a link in the bio on our social media pages where you, that's right, you can buy us a coffee. A little goes a long way in the way of making these shows happen. So we appreciate you guys.
We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you guys for coming along this journey for season 2 as well. Until next time, I'm Trent.
I'm Daniel.
Bye-bye.